those things where if you really, really want to be honest, and we here to be completely raw and honest today, Travis offensively is Shador's safety blanket.
Mm.
It's like Linus from the Peanuts game. Linus never went anywhere without that blanket. That's Travis and Shador when it comes to offense. It's like he has to have the kid out there on O in order for Shador to go that high, because with those statistics aren't going to be there without Travis. I don't give a damn who you have in your wide receiver room. You could have a bunch of 4 and 5 stars, but they're not Travis Hunter.
So let me put the blender shades on Coach Guru. You're Coach Prime now. You got this phenomenal generational type player. You got your son who has a chance to do something that has never been done before in the Sanders family. What do you do, Coach Prime?
He's going, listen, in my opinion, I got to make sure that my kid goes first overall.
Mm. So, hey, we got to give you from time to time a little bit of extra locker room show. A little bit of extra locker room show. Q, we're here, man. This is the season, and we're getting right into it. So let's talk about it, man. This is what people want to see. They got prime time to themselves. We got North Dakota State and Colorado, man. And there's a lot of layers to this, Q. There's a lot of layers. And one of the things, man, we've been talking about since last year, because you can't talk about Colorado long without talking about this guy. And first and foremost, also let me preference our allegiance and alliance. You guys see the Colorado helmet behind me. I know that we're going to go down a little bit of Coach Prime's road, and I know him and Bucky got everybody coming out the woodwork to back them. So there's the alliance. That ain't just a toy helmet. I actually spent blood, sweat, and tears on Folsom Field myself as a cornerback, Big 12 champion. Q is from the Big 12. He played at Kansas. But if KU ain't playing, he loves some Coach Prime and some CU as well. So, but hey, Q, we're football guys, right?
Hey, you gotta keep it a buck, man. Gotta keep it
a buck. So if you're used to joining us in the locker room show, we have a bunch of topics that are on the bottom ticker, but today we only have one. And you see what it is. Will Coach Prime ruin Travis Hunter's opportunity, Q, to be drafted in the top 10, And let's talk about it, man, because you and I talked last year and we felt there was a little bit too much offense. So maybe I got to go back, Q, and ask you first, and the good people of YouTube, what position do you think is his best position for the NFL?
For the NFL, from what I've been hearing, colleagues that are agents, any scouts that they've spoken with, or I've had an opportunity to speak with as well, although he's an explosive player on offense, he's being looked at more as, for the majority of the teams in the league, as a corner, right? Possibly, still, every now and then, maybe some gadget plays or something like that, because he's like a Swiss Army knife when it comes to his offensive skills, but primarily coming in and starting right away somewhere, assuming that he's healthy, starting right away, at whatever team drafts him at corner. So that's what I'd be looking at him at as well.
Because they do have to pick a position, right? You can't I've never seen anybody. I mean, the closest may be a Devin Hester, but he was still coming in with a position that he was going to be playing during position drills.
Right, but see, that's the thing about Devin Hester. Even though he established himself as such a prominent return man, when he got to Miami in college, they didn't know what to do with him. And then when he got to the league, they still didn't know what to do with him. So if you notice, Devin Hester never really got an opportunity to develop one position. That's why when he finally just started focusing on returning, he came arguably the best that ever do it. But it's like, whether he was a corner or a receiver, he never got a chance to just hone in and really, really specialize on his craft. And we don't want to see that happen to Travis. And that very well could happen too if he doesn't zero in on where he's going to make his money at.
So great point right there. And when we talk about you guys, Coach Prime potentially ruining Travis's opportunity, Coach Prime that's his one of his sons. That's one of his boys. He has a major alliance and cares for Travis. But Q, if I'm a top 10 organization, I need someone who can play right now. I need
Mm-hmm.
someone that doesn't have a bunch of question marks as far as injuries.
Yeah.
And really, when you think about Travis and you think about him being a top 10 pick, what would be your biggest question marks?
I mean, his biggest question right now, I think, on everybody's list is going to be his durability, and how is he going to endure another full season of that many snaps? And that's why we're here today. That's why we have to discuss it. We got to talk about this again. All love to Coach Prime. This gets back to him. Hey, Coach, hey, you the man. You always gonna be the man. But we got to touch on this because the amount of snaps that kid was playing with questionable durability, that's not a good equation, man.
Exactly. And we look back, you guys, back to his high school career. Injuries have been an issue for Travis. He got injured in high school. He got injured when he first got to Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you guys know he was injured last year. He took the big hit at Colorado State. Q, we all know that superstars are targeted, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit easier maybe to target somebody on offense instead of defense. So let's get to the main point, man. Can he go top 10 as a cornerback if he doesn't play the entire season and he gets injured this year?
If he does get injured, I don't know about. I see him possibly slipping out of the top 10. I mean, you got to understand, Coach, people that are maybe just tuning in or really just starting to understand the business of football. The whole key for the draft is to get the best player possible for the cheapest price possible, right?
Yeah.
So if he gets injured again, Travis will undoubtedly go first round, but hell, if I can get him off the board at 17 versus 9 or at 5, then hell, that's a huge, huge win. So that's one of those things where he's going to try to avoid because, Coach, I mean, tell the good people if they don't understand, man, the difference between a 5th pick, even in a 10th pick, is a couple of mil. So imagine going from top 5 to top 20, and you're going off the board at that 13 to
It's about
17 range.
8 to 10 mil.
Easily, if not more. So this is really, really a big deal, man. It needs to be addressed. And we're just really interested in how Coach Prime is gonna go about this, man.
Do you think this is something that's on his radar? Do you think that Shador, who has a chance, I mean, we're in a very interesting situation, man, because he loves both of these kids. Their careers are running simultaneously. Obviously, he has an alliance and wants the best for both of them. But, it just so happens, Q, that his boy has a chance to be maybe the number 1 overall quarterback. He's in the top 2, 3, 5, depending on where you're looking. We got the kid Beck from Georgia. We got
Right.
A few other quarterbacks that are up there too. So do you believe that Shador needs Travis to be a top overall pick or maybe in the top 10 himself?
Absolutely. I mean, I can trust and believe. And again, Coach, we've had a number of conversations, and I know that Colorado has a solid wide receiver room, right? I can't say if it's the likes of a Texas or Ohio State, but I know they have a lot of talent. But it's one of those things where if you really, really want to be honest, and we here to be completely raw and honest today, Travis offensively is Shador's safety blanket.
Mm.
It's like Linus from the Peanuts game. Linus never went anywhere without that blanket. That's Travis and Shador when it comes to offense. And I truly believe deep down that's one of the main reasons is why Coach Prime has Travis on. I mean, we know Travis wants the ball. Make no mistake, Travis wants to do both.
Be out there.
But as a coach, it's your job in order to look at the kid's future and be like, hey, I understand your heart. I will never doubt that, but I have to limit you for your own good. But when it comes to Shador and his passing percent, his completion percentage, and his yardage, well, hell, who's going to give you more yak than Travis Hunter in college football? You see what I mean? So it's like he has to have the kid out there on O in order for Shador to go that high, because with those statistics aren't going to be there without Travis. I don't give a damn who you have in your wide receiver room. You could have a bunch of 4 and 5 stars, but they're not Travis Hunter.
So you believe the two are tied together. If you
100%.
see Shador as the number one quarterback chosen, you're thinking that's because Travis had a big offensive year.
100%. 100%. And it's this the way, and I'm sure they made some changes, but it's the way that they had talented receivers last year. But it's the way that they go, the way that their offense is set up. You know, it's if you look at Shador on tape, and that's one thing I've always taught DBs, especially like safeties, corners, linebackers. When you look at them on tape, Shador's first read is Travis. I can tell America that right now. He may look him off, but he's going to come right back to him if Travis is, because 9 times out of 10, if Travis is covered, he might dump it to him anyway, just because of his athletic ability. He's going to make a play. But usually, I don't give a damn what the formation is, where Travis lines up in motion, strength, weak side, he's looking at 12 first. Then he'll go through his progressions.
You're the GM of a team like the Titans or maybe the Raiders, a team that struggles next year. You need a cornerback, and you're looking at Travis Hunter. Does he need to catch anything on offense? Does he need to make any plays on offense for you to choose him as your number one cornerback?
Not a damn thing. The only other thing I would like to see is extra added value from Travis, other than on defense, is maybe return a couple of punts. That's it. And we don't
So
have
as
to
long
see
as
him.
he stays healthy
that's all we need.
And he performs the same, that's all you need to see.
Travis doesn't need to show anything now. Travis can sit out of this whole season and still go top 10. You damn near rather for him to do that than get hurt. He can go right now as we speak. He can go top 10 right now. Right now. You know? So this is, so it's one of those things where he doesn't need to prove anything else. The scouts don't need to see anything else. This is solely about just making it through the season unscathed. That's what it's about for him. Shador needs the statistics because he's got Quinn Ewers, like you said, and other guys, that are solid quarterbacks in that first round, upper top 10 realm. So he has a dogfight on his hands. Granted, I mean, he's probably the favorite, and he does have the necessary skills to go that high. But when it comes to Travis, man, it's like he stands alone.
When I'm looking at past drafts and some of the premier cornerbacks that we always know and love and talk about, I'm thinking Prime, obviously, his coach. He went 5th overall. I'm thinking of a Champ Bailey, who ended up going 7th overall. I'm thinking of a Charles Woodson, who ended up going 4th overall. So we're actually talking even lower than the 10 spot. Would you put Travis with the dynamic year and staying healthy? Would you put him in that same realm?
I would. I've yet to be wild, and I don't get wild easily in regards to just the intangibles, the athleticism, the IQ. I think a lot of people kind of they get so in awe about his athleticism, they really forget about Travis's IQ. He's a smart player. Actually, that play of the year to me was one of the plays of the year when he stretched out and made that interception. I believe against TCU. If you look at how he came off the receiver and read 2-1 in that zone. Man, that was an IQ play just as much as it was an athleticism play.
Chess play.
Total chess. Total. So, I mean, yeah, man, he's got everything you want. Again, it's just about can he stay healthy with the amount of snaps that he could possibly be playing per game. And we're talking about a long season, man.
Wow. So this is an amazing conversation, man, because we're talking about one of 3 things, Q, playing out really very soon. We're talking about either Travis hitting an entire new stratosphere, man, where he is able to stay healthy on offense, stay healthy on defense, and do what he needs for Shador, but also still go as the number 1 cornerback. We're either talking about maybe him getting injured, or we're maybe talking about him being lessened on offense and being the player he can be on cornerback. So one of those three things is going to play out, man. He's either going to become something we've never seen before, which he was last year, but he couldn't sustain it.
Right.
Or he's going to be minimized on offense and play just at cornerback predominantly, or he's going to get injured, man. He's going to get injured. So let me ask you this. When we talk about injury and we talk about usage, who is that on? Is that on Travis? Is that on Prime? Who is that on?
It's going to be on, to me, it's going to be equally distributed in regards to two people. It's going to be on Coach Prime and it's going to be on the offensive coordinator. Because we know what he needs to do. We know how he really should be making his money in the league, right? So you kind of take the defensive coordinator out the equation. It's on the offensive coordinator and Coach Prime. And a serious talk on if we're gonna give him any offensive snaps, which we know he will, how can we limit him? Because here's the situation. Here, Coach, paint this scenario. What if it's a situation where we need to win 2-3 games, however many games that we have to win in order to get to the playoffs or in order to get to a bowl? You see what I mean? So now here, or even in a game where you're in a dogfight, all right? It's like, well, we have to score. We're struggling scoring, so we got to go to Travis, and we're on O, but then we got their top dog wide receiver that's giving us hell, and can nobody check him but Travis.
Stanford.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where it's almost like, do they have enough firepower so he doesn't have to do that? To me, that's an even bigger question.
So let me put the blender shades on Coach Guru. You're Coach Prime now. You got this phenomenal generational type player. You got your son who has a chance to do something that has never been done before in the Sanders family. What do you do, Coach Prime?
He's going, listen, in my opinion, I got to make sure that my kid goes first overall. I'm going.
So you're doing. He's doing his fatherly duty,
and it's not about so much. And I think here's the thing, Coach Prime. I believe this is my opinion. He knows that's the I'm not gonna say the ultimate goal, but that's one of his main goals. But that's the hard part is how do we do that without Travis being the sacrificial lamb of keeping him on offense too damn much? So he's got, this is going to be tough, man. Like I thank God, Coach Prime is dealing with it and not myself or anyone else. Because as a coach, this is a really, really hard situation, man, because I don't care, again, who you have in that wide receiver room. I'm sure you got some dogs, but they not Travis Hunter. And we all know if you down by 7 and you got to punch it in with 80 yards to go, it's going to be 2-12 the whole length of the way. And the whole stadium knows it.
No, this is very interesting. This is really unprecedented, you guys, where, right there, Q called it. If I'm a D coordinator and we got a 2-minute drill and Shador's running the 2-minute drill, we are going to have a lot of attention on number 12.
Right.
But should number 12 even be out there? Should number 12 be, because his money is already in the bank.
It's already in the bank. Yep.
Unless he gets hurt. Hurt. So this is going to be big, you guys. And if you want more of this, then you got to check us out. The Guru, Coach Wood, the Locker Room Show, every single Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. The season is here, baby. We'll see you in the Locker Room Show. Have a good one.